What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the builder design pattern. So let's just get right into it. So the main purpose for the builder design pattern, according to the Gang of Four, is to separate the construction of a complex object from its representation, so that the same construction process can create different representations. So in other words, it's used to construct a complex object step by step, and the final step will return the object. You'll see more about that here in this little, I guess, program we're going to be doing, but it's actually a solution to an anti-pattern called the telescoping constructor, and we're going to get into that. Going to our client file, which is the index.js, we have some code here. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't know what's going on here. All you know that we are creating new instances of employees and shoppers, but you don't know what the hell. Like, you know, Sue is a name, obviously, but you don't know what true, 60, false, 0, 50, and this array is. You don't know what that is. Only I do. That's the telescoping constructor. Like, it's an anti-pattern. Only the developer that created this knows what's going on here. In other words, you would have to look in the person.js file and see what's actually going on. So let's take an example for Sue right here. This first one, Sue true 60. Well, if you go in here now, you know that okay, the first argument is a name. She's an employee. She is a manager, and she works 60 hours. And obviously, she doesn't have any money, and she's not on a shopping list because there's no array or there's no other arguments in there. And you could take the same for any of these down here. You could say that, oh, well, he's not an employee, he's not a manager, and he has zero money. I think that was the next one, or 0 hours, but he has $500 to spend, and he wants to buy, or his wish list is jeans and sunglasses. Now you know what's going on, but this is a problem for developers, because actually hunting down these files, if you're like working on existing projects, it's hard to do, especially if the project file is extremely long. You just don't know where it's at, and you have to like Control F all the way through to find out where exactly it's coming from. But so this is where the builder design pattern can actually take place and help us, be better developers, I guess. So down here, we're going to actually try it out. So instead of using a person class directly, we're going to create a class called the person builder, and the person builder is going to be used to create instances of objects. So instead of this person right here, we're going to do person, no, get your Control D, person builder, no, builder, person builder, and we're going to be using this to create new, like I said, objects. So instead of person right here, I'm just Control D all these. Well, I'm gonna leave it like this so that way you could actually see what's. I'm gonna comment these out. So let's take the first one, Sue, for an example. I'm gonna create a new variable, var Sue. So we're gonna create a new person builder, and we're going to pass in the name Sue. So we know that that second argument, true, is actually an employee. So instead of passing in true, we're going to actually just chain on to the builder make. Make employee. Just like that. And then that second one is manager. So we're going to, instead of passing in true, we're going to just say make manager. And then the manager, she works 60 hours. So we can actually pass that in as an argument for the make manager. And also we're done. So we're going to just call build. Now you can see that this makes so much more sense than passing in arguments like this. Any developer could see that, okay, we're building a person named Sue, and she's an employee, she's a manager, and she does 60 hours a week. And this build is just to build that person. So we're going to do that to every other person. And I'll get back into you once I'm done. This is going to be a somewhat soothing talk for a 10-second brief by yours truly, WDJ, and we ran out of time. All right. Now that I'm done, you can see that this is so much simpler to read. You got Sue, that's an employee, it's a manager that does 60 hours a week. You got Patrick, that's an employee, he's part-time. You got John, he's an employee, that's it. So down here we got shoppers. We got Mike. He has money with $500. He has a list. He wants jeans and sunglasses because he's a prick. No, I'm playing. Anybody that's named Mike, I'm joking. I do have a colleague that's named Mike, and me and him are pretty cool. I make fun of him all the time, but we play around like that. But yeah, with that said, he's a douche, and we just build him. So WDJ, he has $1,000, and because I'm smart, I don't spend it on unnecessary things, so I keep my $1,000. So as you can see, this makes it so much easier to read than, as you can see in the comments, you don't even know what the hell was going on. False, 0, 1000. You're just like, what's going on? But now it's time to actually build the person builder class. So let's create another class inside of the builder directory. Call new file, person builder .js. All right. So in here we actually do want to be using the person class. That's what we're going to be using to actually build our persons. So require person, Control Z, person, and here's going to be, so and then we're going to get a class, and we're going to get a person builder, and we're going to export that builder, mod exports not equal person builder. All right. But before we actually start constructing our person builder, we do have to modify our person.js. All right. So right now the constructor takes in all of these arguments, which we're trying to avoid. So instead of taking all these arguments, the person builder is going to be, his responsibility is to send an object to the constructor of this person, the person class. So instead of all these arguments, we're going to be sending in an object, and we're going to just call it builder. Okay, and this is where we're going to get all the values. So instead of name, it's going to be, instead of name, it's going to be builder.name. Instead of is employee, okay, I'm getting it wrong. Is employee is going to be builder.employee, and you get the gist. So we're going to say builder dot name employee, because this is where we're getting the values from. Remember, this is an object. We're going to be returning an object, and this is where we're going to get our values from. And I'm going to do a little bit more modification. So if there's no hours, I'm going to just put in 0 hours. If they don't pass in money, I'm going to give them 0 money, and they don't have a shopping list, I'm just give them an empty array. All right, now that we have this, let's go back inside person builder and build this to, make our code work. So in our constructor, we do pass in a name, so name. So we're going to just set up one thing in the constructor. This dot name is going to equal name. That's the only thing we're going to be passing in, because everything else is going to be methods. So if you want to make a person an employee, we're going to invoke the make an employee method. So make employee method. Nope. And then we're going to just take this instance of the person, and we'll make him an employee. So this dot is employee, and we're going to just set that equal to true. And then we do need to return this instance. Okay, this is the magic into making all these chains what we did in our client file. So over here, you can see that we chained on make employee, make manager, and then build. All right, we're only able to do that is because we're returning the return this. Okay, but this is the current instance it's working on. So we're gonna go ahead and make every other method. So make manager, okay, who else gets those parentheses wrong when they're typing? Make manager, so this dot is manager, and we're gonna set that to true. And we're gonna set the hours because in manager we do send in some hours. So this dot hours is gonna equal to hours, and I forgot to add that as an argument up here. And just in case they don't add hours, so the default is 40, so I'm just put 40. And then the other thing, we do have to return it because, like I said, this is the magic onto chaining methods or functions in our program. So we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna make part-time. So make, but part-time. I did it the long way. I don't even know why. So hours is default to 20. So we're gonna just put in hours right here. We're gonna set that to 20. Oh, not 30, 20. And down here, I'm just copy this so that way I get it. Copy is part time. Oh, actually, you don't have to set anything for part time. Sorry about that, guys. Because in our function up here, or in our person, we don't really have a part time. We just have an employee, and we're just making it part time because we want to set that part time hours to 20 hours. That is it. So going on to with money, we do use with money. With money. In here, we're gonna put in money. So this dot money is going to equal money, and we're simply going to return this. And lastly but not least, with list, and the list does take an array, so list. And if they don't send in one, we're gonna just give it a default of an empty array. So this dot shopping, this is going to equal list. We're gonna return this. Now that we're done with all of our basic methods, we do have to create our build method. This is the one that everybody's going to be using. And this method is actually expected to actually return a new instance of the person object. So let's go ahead and build that. Build. And in here it's pretty simple. We're literally just going to return the object of the, we're going to return a new instance of the person. So new person, and we're going to pass in the person this keyword. Now this returns an object of all of the things that we just built up here. And remember, this is the keyword. This is what the person is expecting to come back, an object. So now that we have all this set up, let's actually try to run it. Let's see if it works. So node dot, whoa, it didn't do anything. Hold on. Oh, it's because I'm not counting log anything. Hold on. So down below, oh man, count log. I'm gonna log out some stuff. Well, at least we didn't get any errors, so that's good. So this is going to work. So we're gonna log out WDJ. All right, let's log out Mike. Mike dot to string. We're gonna log out one more. Nope. We're gonna log out one more. No, stop saving. Let's log out Stu. Control save. All right, now let's run it. Okay, now we get our things back. So Mike, 0 hours. He has $500 of money, and he has a shopping list of jeans and sunglasses. Now Sue, she is an employee, which is true. She is a manager, which is true. She works 60 hours, yes, and she has no money. And well, unfortunately, she doesn't have any money. We can put in money right here if we want to, and she doesn't have a shopping list. But guys, as you can see that the build design pattern actually does help make this readable, more readable, and eliminates the anti-pattern called the telescoping constructor anti-pattern. All right. So now we're going to move on to the pros and cons and when or where would you want to use this. So for the pros and cons, they're pretty much straightforward, guys. There really isn't much to say on this. So let's go. Pros, number one, the parameters to the constructor are reduced and are provided in highly readable method calls. The second one, builder design pattern also helps in minimizing the number of parameters in constructor, and thus there is no need to pass in null for optional parameters to the constructor. Third, object is always instantiated in a complete state. And fourth, immutable objects can be built without much complex logic and object building processes. Now, the disadvantages, although people will probably have more disadvantages, but I didn't see that many disadvantages when I was doing my research. Now, obviously, the first one, the number of lines of code increase at least double in the builder pattern. That's because you're going to be creating all of these methods. Instead of adding the constructor, all the arguments to the constructor, you're going to be adding, I don't know, 1 or 2 arguments to the constructor and then all the methods to chain on. Now, it does pay off in the long term for design flexibility and readable code, though. So think about that. The second one would be requires creating a separate concrete builder for each different type of product, which it's the methods that we created. The concrete builder is the methods that we built for every product. So make an employee, we made a make an employee method. But yeah, those are the only cons that I see. Let's go on to the when should we use it. So we should use it, and this is pretty simple, guys. Whenever creation of a new object requires setting many parameters, and some of them or all of them are optional. All right, as you saw for the person, some of the things were optional. All right, I mean we did need to know if they were an employee or not, if they were a manager. I mean, manager is pretty optional, I guess. But the money, the wish list, those are optional. We didn't need them. But let's take it into more of a general topic or general thing. Let's do a pizza builder. Let's build a class for a pizza. All right. So we need, what size do you want? What do you want? Pepperonis, cheese, extra sauce. You know, do you want bacon, chicken? I don't even know what else. Veggies on it. What kind of veggies? Jalapenos? I don't know. But you get it. These are all arguments to the constructor. All right. Now you can see that this constructor is getting pretty hefty on the argument section. All right. So instead of doing that, this is where you would want to use a builder design pattern. All right. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. And plus, you got to take in consideration what the Gang of 4 defined it as. All right. Is to separate the construction of a complex object from its representation so that the same construction process can create different representations. Now, I did state this in the beginning, and I will state it again. It's basically saying that it's used to construct a complex object step by step, and the final step will return the object as you saw in the I guess the tutorial that I gave you. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you did learn something from this, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave a like if you like this video, or if you learned something from this video. Dislike it if you had something bad an impression about it, and also leave a comment down below on where would you use the builder design pattern. There's a lot of places you can use this for, but leave a comment down below where would you use a builder design pattern. And as always, guys, I would like to thank you for actually spending some time watching this video, and I try to make good videos for you guys, informative videos. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.